Shalom, shalom. It's the brother W from GMS Mobile, Alabama Camp, coming at you with another lesson. But before I get started, I want to give all glory, praise, and honors unto Yahweh by Hashem, Yahweh Shai by Hashem, Kwakadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who teach and rule well. Peace and salutation to the whole elect that scattered abroad, preaching the truth and sincerity to you. I want to say shalom. All right, and this is the pride of Esau Edom, man. Okay, because he's saying that he don't want it to happen, but he gonna defend himself. That's why I say I entitle this, who do you think you're fooling? You've been ready for this day since day one, something along those lines. But I'm just gonna let the video play, and I'm gonna make some points, as it's playing, so it won't be so long. But here it is.
Oh, okay. Yep, there is this black guy out there who has made an issue out of nothing so big he's making a tissue look like sandpaper. Put a video out, essentially threatening white people, saying that he's going to take us out, acting like he's still living in slave times. I just have to ask, just so we can get this out of the way, the amount that some black people talk about slave times, it almost makes me think that y'all miss it, Like you want to go back in time. Like if you have a really bad traumatic thing happen in your life, are you talking about it every second you get? Or are you just trying to leave it in the past? Like, oh, hey, if your wife cheats on you, are you sitting there telling everybody about it? Or are you just like, okay, well, she's an idiot, I left, and we're moving on? Simple. Now look, I get it. We all have our moments where we get sensitive. Catch me in traffic, especially when I'm towing a trailer and somebody's tailing me. There are not too many things in life that makes me want to fight more than that. But of course, you've got to be able to tone that shit down and just say, okay, if I have to slam on my brakes, this guy's getting a cross member right in his forehead because he's driving a Honda Civic. So why don't we listen to this guy just sit there?
One way black people achieve true liberation, that's by taking it in blood. There has to be blood all over the floor. There has to be bodies on the floor. There has to be people screaming and crying. That is the reality. And this is what history shows me. No amount of begging, no amount of complaining, no amount of protesting, nada is going to get you your liberation until you take it with blood. You see? So this is why I sit back and I don't play along with any of these black people talking about it's a spiritual war, this, that, because when those cops are going into our neighborhoods and shooting our babies, that's a physical thing, right? Address the physical. You see? This is why I say don't hit my...
And another thing, this is a spiritual war. It's spiritual before it's physical. Jake, he don't understand. Jake is carnal and he ready to get carnal. But at the end of the day, you are not overcome what you're trying to overcome without the Lord, without Yahweh by Hashem, Yahweh Shai, man. Because going against these Edomites, carnally, they will win every time, man.
Until y'all ready to do what y'all know we got to do. When y'all ready to go outside and hunt them white boys, hunt them cops, go to that white boy's neighborhood and kick it up. When y'all ready to do what y'all know we got to do, hit me. But until then, I'm not playing around with y'all because it's all of these excuses for why we don't want to do it. I'm going to sit back and do my thing. When y'all ready to go outside and take blood, hit me anytime. But you see, a lot of us are not ready to do that. But I'm trying to tell y'all, there is no freedom. There is no liberation for our people.
All right, so let's just walk through this ironclad logic, if we can. A white person pisses you off or makes you feel uncomfortable, or just their mere presence in life brings up the fact that maybe some of your ancestors were slaves. You interpret the white person's simple existence as systemic oppression for y'all. Not, okay, well, let's give this guy a chance. Maybe he's a good guy. Maybe he's a lefty liberal who hates white people, but is white. We have a lot of those, and that's confusing, but we'll talk about that a different time. But you view white people's existence as just a threat to you. So then you go and you threaten to hunt them. So if we can we just run through this real quick, how this would go? So these are rough numbers, but black people make up about 12.1% of America. Hispanic or Latino, this is probably very wrong because this was back in 2020. Now this is probably around 20%, but they make up 18%, and white people are 57%. So you want to go to war with us, or you want to hunt us down, or you want to just find us on the street and kill us, make us bleed, make people.
And notice that he's linking the so-called black people with the Mexican people because they already know that we're a one nation. along with us Indians. You know, we're all one nation. That's the nation of Israel. Okay.
People cry, that type of thing. All right, you understand that there are more than 4 times the amount of people that we can be like, okay, we're going to war. How do you think that's going to go? Let's take it a step further there, Mr. Waterworks. You said a very key word in there. You said hunt. How many black people do you know that actually go and hunt? Enjoy hunting. You know how many I know? Zero. I have never ever heard a black person say, you know what, I'm going out hog hunting today. I'm going to go get a white-tailed deer. I'm going to go shoot an axis. I'm going to go turkey hunting. Never. Now, on the other hand, white people, even Mexican people, all the fucking time. I got a deer feeder on my property. I got a turkey feeder. I will shoot the fuck out of a hog if I ever see one out here. I fish 4 times a week, and I'm pretty much participating in every season out there as far as hunting goes. So, once again, I'm just kind of double checking the logic here. You want to hunt us, but y'all don't legitimately hunt. And we have learned to track, have learned to sneak up on a white-tailed deer, which is not easy. How to blend in with our environment. How to sit in a tree stand for half the day and not make a sound. With the lip of Copenhagen and possibly a 6-pack of something.
Alright. And I'm going to pull this scripture right here because, you know, he just proven who the so-called, well, not the so-called, but he just proven, okay, who the Edomites are, man. The so-called white people. He just proven that. Because Esau is a fucking cunning hunter, man. But I'm going to start in Genesis chapter 25, verse 23. And it read, and the Lord Yahweh said to her, 2 nations are in thy womb, and 2 manner of people shall be separated from thy bowels, and one people shall be stronger than the other people, and the elder shall serve the younger. Okay, this going back the birth of Jacob and Esau, the so-called black man and the so-called white man. Okay, they came out twins, but Jacob, he has his melanin, his pigmentation. You know, he's a dark colored person, while Esau came out reddish. You know, he was red, which is the white people today. You know, whenever they get mad or get angry or get slapped or you know, sunburned, they turn red, man. All right, but the so-called black people, okay, which is Jacob's descendant, they are stronger than the so-called white people. Okay, the so-called white people, they're fucking cowards, man. But you know, this is this is proving who the so-called white man is, you know, through the scriptures. But this is verse 24. It reads, and when her days to be delivered were fulfilled, behold, there were twins in her womb, and the first came out red all over like a hairy garment, and they called his name Esau. Okay, whose name today, the modern name they giving themselves is the white man. Okay, or the Caucasians. But this is verse 26. It said, and after that came his brother out, and his hand took hold on Esau's heel, and his name was called Jacob. And Isaac was 80 years old when she buried them. All right, and Jacob holding Esau's heel was a symbolization of him bringing him out of power. Okay, so when these race wars pop off, yeah, a lot of people are going to get unalive behind that. But at the end of it, you know, Jacob is go overcome it, man, because the Lord is going to intervene for his people, man. Okay, starting with his elect first and foremost, man. Okay, he cares about his elect, man. He cares about his elect. All right, but at the end of the day, he's still gonna choose Jacob. He's still gonna choose Israel, man. Verse 27. It reads, and the boys grew, and Esau was a cunning hunter. That what he just explained to you. Okay, he got deer feeder on his property. He got a turkey feeder. He's sitting wait and sit in trees. You know, he creep up on a white-tailed deer. You know, they shoot ducks or whatever. He participated in every hunting season it is, man. That's proof, man. See, these people don't even know who the fuck they are, but they want to tell you who you are, when they don't even know who they are, man. They can't explain these things. They don't know that these things is coming from the scriptures, man. But it reads, a man of the field, and Jacob was a plain man dwelling in tent. And that's why Jacob always relaxed, man. All right. And the only thing that's going to rise Jacob is Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua, man. That's the only thing that's going to raise Jacob. Because Jake get routed, then he get right back to sleep, you know. But I want to go to chapter 27, Genesis chapter 27, verse 38. It read, and Esau said unto his father, hast thou but one blessing, my father? Bless me, even me also, O my father. And Esau lifted up his voice and wept, meaning he cried like a baby, because Jacob supplanted our forefather Isaac into receiving the ultimate blessing, which is having the kingdom, man, which is having the joint heirs with Yahushua, who in the world ignorantly calls Jesus, man. Okay, we will be ruling in the kingdom. Our kingdom is coming next after this wicked kingdom right here, man. Okay, Esau is the end of the world, but Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth. That's it. Hey, that's another cut, man. That you will not win the race war, man. But this scriptures right here is going to the blessings that Esau received from our forefather Isaac, man. Okay. Verse 39, and Isaac his father answered and said unto him, behold, thy dwelling shall be the fatness of the earth and of the dew of heaven from above. So that's why you see in these Edomites, okay, in high places, you know, they live in lavish. Okay, they are rich. They have nice homes. They have mansions. They're out, you know, on the water. You know, they own in islands. Okay, you know, they are judges, police officers, and all that, man. You know, this man kingdom. Okay, he's in his blessing right now. But guess what? We're at the end of his blessing. We're at the end of his rulership. Okay, we are witnessing transitioning of power, man. But verse 40, it reads, and by the sword shalt thou live. And that sword turned into the modern day sword, which is a gun. Okay, nuclear missiles. Okay, grenades. You know, rifles, pistols, hunting bows. Okay, pocket knives. Esau is ruling with this, man. So how are Jake, how you so-called black people are going to go against this man with his own blessing, his own weapon? Okay, these Edomites, they're well trained with their weapons, man. I was watching the video where this Edomite, he have his own land or whatever, and then he was just target practicing. You know, he about, I'd say 50 yards away from his target with a pistol, a 1911. He held that gun upside down, shot it, and hit the target, man. They are very skilled with their blessing. You cannot go against Esau in his carnal way, man, without the Lord. Okay? If you're a carnal, you don't have the Lord with you. But you take when the Lord say wait on him till he rise up to the prey, man. Okay, that's why a lot of our people will be unalive, man.
He thinks he's okay at golf. Go into the Masters and be like, dude, I'm going to kick Tiger Woods' ass today. I love the confidence, but you don't have the experience to back it up. Now, can we flip this for a second? Imagine if I went on the internet and I said something like this. Just the opposite. So white people against black people. And I used the exact same words this dude used. I probably would be at the minimum severely looked into by a couple of different agencies. I potentially would be arrested for a hate crime or whatever else. It's obvious that whenever it's a white person doing something against a person of color, the consequence is far more severe. Now, what is all this about? It's about equality, right? It's about Everybody, no matter what your skin color, gender, having the same rights as everyone else, having the same opportunity in this country, not being oppressed, and having freedom to do whatever the fuck you want. If we're being treated differently in terms of the exact same thing, saying something like this, and the consequence is different, how's that equality? I think that's the thing. People don't really want equality. They just want it good for themselves. So what's the takeaway in all this? To this guy, I don't know if he's ever gonna see it. Fuck your feelings, dude. That's gonna be the new motto of this show. Oh, you're upset because of something that happened, I don't know how many years ago, and you can't get over it? Or you just naturally are simply racist against white people? We don't give a fuck. We don't care. We have more people than you guys. We are far more armed than you guys. Yes, for the most part, we are much more civilized. So if that's what you got.
And another thing, how are you so much more civilized, okay, when you are destroying the earth for beginners? You're poisoning the air. You're poisoning our food, our water. Okay, you're just killing shit for fun, you know, as a fucking sport. All right, for starters, man. Okay, you are in control of the earth, and you're destroying the earth. You're ripping the earth from its properties, man. All gold, diamonds. Okay, you were put into power to take peace from the earth, but you are far more civilized than the Lord's people. Okay, when Gad done taught you how to bathe and all this, and you still, you know, get it wrong to this day. Okay, it's a whole video on YouTube about how your women don't wash their asses. They use baby wipes to wipe their private areas and up under their arms, and out of the door they go on, you know, with their life, man. Then there's a commercial of this Edomite chick. She have a baby wipe, and is it a baby wipe or something type of spray? I think it's like a baby wipe, but it's a name to it. And she whoosh whoosh whoosh, and out the door I go. You know, but yet you are civilized, much more civilized than we are. Yeah, we out here, you know, our people out here sagging, you know, these bitches out here twerking and half naked, you know. Jake killing themselves. That's the only thing that you have, you know, against the Israelites as being, you know, uncivilized. You know, these bitches fighting everywhere they go. Come on, man, y'all are destroying the earth, man. Then you go in the grocery stores, bare feet dirty as hell, with tank tops and shorts on. Sometimes you're topless, man. You know, you're digging in your ass and scratching, man. You know, smelling your fingernails, man. You know, but you know, I got another video this nasty ass Sheetamite I'm gonna play. Cause that's the end of this.
Want to do. We don't want that. We're not wishing for that, but we're going to defend ourselves, and it's not going to be fun for you or for any of you guys over there who think that all of your problems are because of white people.
Right. And it is because of white people, but the root of it is Yahweh Bashim Yahushua, man. Okay, we disobeyed the Lord, and now He put y'all over us, man. But as you can see, I wanted to get into, hold on, let me back it up real quick. Right there. You see his left arm where it says steel? That's a Nazi symbol. They call it the iron steel, man. Which is this right here. You hollering about what you don't want. You's a fucking Klansman. You are ready to hunt Jake down, man, as well as your other people, man. That's why you have these Klansmen, okay, in Jake country, because not country, but in their areas, their cities, okay, trying to start a race war, man. You had the what was the Columbus, Ohio incident? It was somewhere in Ohio. Then you have them standing out in Orlando by SeaWorld, or was that Disney World? You know? Now, another situation that came up where you had two of them fully dressed. You know, they in Jake City down in Atlanta, man. They ended up getting unalive, man. And that's what Jake was speaking about, man.
And
Jake was loving this right here, man. Jake was amped about this right here, man. And all this is being controlled because this is what Esau want. Esau want to, he want our hell to break loose in the streets, man, so he can come in with the solution. You know, martial law, man. You know, and we see this clearly, man. But I'm finna play this chick's video, man. She's in her feelings, you know.
It's being like, oh, we're gonna get a race war. If there was a race war, you wouldn't win. Okay. First of all, you might have plenty of guns, but you don't know how to shoot them. You think this is how you shoot guns. You think this is how you shoot a pistol. That's not. I know you saw that in a movie and you thought it looked cool. And you saw your favorite fucking rapper doing that, but that's not how you aim and shoot a gun. The only reason blacks have not exterminated themselves in the hood, because black on black violence is insane and through the roof, is because they're such horrible shots. So you really think you're gonna beat a duck hunter who shoots ducks for a living, for fun, on his free time, and doesn't miss? Really, nigga?
And she's in her feelings. She's a fucking Yahtzee member too. But hey, everybody don't hold guns like that. You know, that's just Jake having sauce, man. And you can still get your ass unalive by Jake letting that thing ring out sideways. Stupid ass bitch. It don't take a rocket scientist to fucking figure out how to shoot a gun and fucking hit a big ass target. Now, when you're yards back and you're using a rifle, okay, it takes some skill level, man. You know? But as far as being up close, it ain't hard to get hit by a bullet and maybe be unalive, man. And the only reason why we ain't exterminated because the Lord having mercy on his people. Okay, he ain't gonna do away with Jake altogether. But Jake are out here being punished by the Lord, man. It's the Lord's choice, man. Not because they're shooting and their aim is off. Not because of that, man. It's because of the Lord, man.
A water snake today. But anyway, my point being, white people have been shooting.
Yeah, who cannot shoot a fucking water moccasin? Yeah, I'm not very skilled, but I can shoot one. I seen one swimming the other day. And you ain't even say if you shot one time and hit it the first time. So chill out with that shit. With your scary ass. When all hell break loose, you're gonna shit your pants, man.
For sport for a long time. So let's not bring that up, okay? It's not going to end the way you think it is, all right? And by the way, that's another psyop of this thing. For all the people, the James Lindsays, the typical people you would think, they're all calling this Shiloh thing a psyop. Oh yeah, it's just a psyop to trick us into a race war, because you know what the Jews really want? They want the blacks and the whites working together. No. Okay, that's actually never going to happen. The blacks and the whites will never put aside their differences and fight the Jews. That's never going to happen. First of all, the blacks are convinced they're the Jews. Have you checked in on a black Hebrew Israelite lately? They're some of the most retarded people on the planet, okay? The hubris of these people, black Hebrew Israelites, it's a really like peak worst types of blacks.
Why? Because we telling you don't have a God? We telling you that you don't have nobody to stand up and fight for you? Get out your feelings.
Because they think they're amazing, you know? But no, so these people were like, oh man, you're just saying that because you're just trying trying to cause racial division. I'm like, oh, I'm sorry. So now I get labeled as somebody's trying to start a race war anytime I mention black crime. That's the new go-to. That's the new go-to. Okay, I get it. So it's woke right that didn't stick, and now it's, oh, you're trying to start a race war. No, I'm actually just talking about black crime. Okay, I don't want a race war. All right, I know we would win, but I don't want that. Actually, I would never try to incite something like that. It's not going to happen. When we come to power, there will be no need for a race war. We can just round them up and deport them all. And that's what will happen. But anyway,
hey, that's the pride of these Edomites, man. Hey, it's not going to end the way you think it's going to end. It's not going to end the way that you think it's going to end. And I'm finna prove it. And you hollering about what you don't want. It's not about what you don't want, bitch. It's going to happen. It's going to happen. This is the book of Ezekiel, chapter 35, and I'm going to start at verse 1. It reads, moreover, the word of the Lord Yahweh came unto me, saying, Son of man, set thy face against Mount Seir, these Edomites, and prophesy against it. And that's what we're doing week in, week out. You know, out here on the highways and byways during camp, and we do it in the comfort of our homes or on our lunch break, wherever we make a video at. Hey, we giving you heathens your fucking judgment, man, as well as you 2/3, man, that don't want to turn back to the Lord. But it reads, and prophesy against it, and say unto it, thus said the Lord Yahweh power, behold, O Mount Seir. Again, you so-called white people, I am against thee, and I will stretch out my hand against thee, and I will make thee most desolate. I will lay thy cities waste, and thou shalt be desolate, and thou shalt know that I am the Lord Yahweh. Because thou hast had a perpetual hatred, and hast shed the blood of the children of Israel by the force of the sword, in the time of their calamity, in the time that their iniquity had an end. Therefore, as I live, said the Lord Yahweh power, I will prepare thee unto blood, and blood shall pursue thee. Says thou hast not hated blood, even blood shall pursue thee. Right, so does this sound like y'all are going to prevail? Does this sound like y'all are going to win? Does this sound like y'all houses shall continue forever? No, the Lord is going to bring you down, man. This is second Esdras going into the race wars. Chapter 15, I'm going to start at verse 14. It reads, woe to the world and them that dwell therein, for the sword and their destruction draweth now. Again, the sword, modern day pistols, rifles, okay, pocket knives, grenades, nuclear missiles, bombs, man. You know, that's the modern day sword. But I'm going to read it again, verse 15. For the sword and their destruction draweth nigh, and one people shall stand up and fight against another, and swords in their hands. What that sound like? That sound like somebody going to war. Verse 16, for there shall be sedition among men, and invading one another. They shall not regard their kings nor princes, and the course of their actions shall stand in their power. It's going to be a lawless society, man. Okay, these people are going to carry out their darkest desires, man. Okay, and these people, darkest fears are going to come upon them, man. Okay, it's going to be all-out chaos, man. Verse 17, a man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able. For because of their pride, the city shall be troubled, the houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid. A man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy their houses with the sword, and spoil their goods because of the lack of bread and for great tribulation. And here it is. You have all these different recalls on these food products about listeria and you know, some type of bacteria and salmonella. Hey, these people are taking food off of your shelves and putting it down there in their underground bunkers. Okay, they're missile silos, man. Okay, these people are storing up food because they is finna release this World War III, man. Hey, we're the ones that's in the know, okay, is not ignorant of Esau's devices, man. Okay, they're recalling all these food products and stuff because they're taking it down there in their bunker, man, because they are going to nuke this bitch, man. Okay? And you 2/3, you so-called Negro, Hispanics, Native Americans that don't return back to the Lord, okay, you're going to be caught in that nuclear destruction, man. While the 1/3 is hoping to be delivered. Okay, that is race war. That is a race war, man. And like I said, hey, it's not going to go the way that you think it's going to go, because the Lord is going to intervene, man. This is Joshua chapter 23, verse 9. It reads, "For the Lord Yahweh have driven out from before you great nations and strong. But as for you, no man have been able to stand before you unto this day. 1 man of you shall chase 1,000, for the Lord Yahweh your power. He it is that fighteth for you, as he hath promised you." So, okay, the weapons of our warfare are not carnal, man. All right, because the way y'all see us, hey, all of us niggers, man. All of us are uncivilized, and we're not counted as a whole, man. You know, blah, blah, blah. But the Lord does have a remnant, man. A remnant, okay? That he is allotted for salvation, man. That he will give spiritual powers to, man. Okay? And they're gonna need it, because your military, for and foremost, okay. I'm not even finna include the robots, the training robots y'all got, and robot dogs, and you know, these special weapons that can hit you from the inside out and all that. You know, we're going to need spiritual powers for these things, man. And the ones that doesn't wait on the Lord, they ain't going to get it. That's why they're going to be unalive, you know, during this race war, man. But verse 10, it reads, 1 man of you shall chase 1,000. How will you chase 1,000? With a rifle? No, man. You have a limited amount of ammo in that rifle, man. No, you're going to chase 1,000 because we're going to have spiritual powers. Okay, can no carnal weapon, okay, outperform spiritual powers, man? All right, and that's only if you're an Israelite, man. This is Isaiah. I'm gonna start at this is chapter 41, verse 10. It reads, "Fear thou not, for I am with thee. Be not dismayed, for I am thy power. I will strengthen thee," right, giving us spiritual power. "Yeah, I will help thee. Yeah, I will uphold thee with the right hand of my righteousness. Behold, all they that were incensed against thee shall be ashamed and confounded." How? Because they don't know why you're out here performing as though you was an X-Men, right? Because we were X-Men, you know. We was a mortal man, but now we're immortal. Okay, we have spiritual powers, man. A whole bunch of bright burns, man. It reads, "They shall be as nothing, and they that strive with thee shall perish. Thou shalt seek them and shalt not find them. Even them that contended with thee, they that war against thee shall be as nothing and as a thing of naught." Right. You know, these heathens is going to be getting demolished left and right, man. Pulverized. Okay. It's not even a word in American English dictionary that can describe Okay, the spiritual powers that the Lord is going to give his men. Verse 13, for I, the Lord Yahweh, thy power will hold thy right hand, saying unto thee, fear not, I will help thee. Fear not, thou worm Jacob, and ye men of Israel, I will help thee, saith the Lord Yahweh, and thy Redeemer, the Holy One of Israel. You know, hey, the Lord keep repeating this. Don't fear, I will help you. I will help you. And guess what? He's going to help. Verse 15, behold, I will make thee a new sharp threshing instrument having teeth. Thou shalt thresh the mountains and beat them small, and shalt make the hills as chaff. Thou shalt fan them, and the wind shall carry them away, and the whirlwind shall scatter them, and thou shalt rejoice in the Lord Yahweh, and shalt glory in the Holy One of Israel. Right, man. Going into Jake having a spiritual power. All right, we will not be out there with guns. You got spiritual power, but you still picking up AR-15s and Dracos. You know, Glocks with switches and stuff like that. You know, picking up throwing knives and all that. Nah, man. Nah. Again, you Edomites will not win. The outcome will be very surprising to you. That's why you will be confounded. All right. This is Shalakia, back in Isaiah. This is chapter 59, verse 19. It reads, so shall they fear the name of the Lord Yahweh from the west, and his glory from the rising of the sun. When the enemy shall come in like a flood, the spirit of the Lord Yahweh shall lift up a standard against him. Right. That standard is a way of escape. Alright. Here it is. You talking about a race war. You have animals you have to worry. But as I was saying, you know, before I was rudely interrupted with a call, hey, you have teeth to wild beasts you have to worry about, man. Alright. You just won't be shooting at Jake. You know, you will also be shooting at these robots, artificial intelligence, man. Okay, Jake is gonna be the least thing you have to worry about, man. But verse 20, it read, and the Redeemer shall come to Zion, and unto them that turn from transgression in Jacob, said the Lord. Verse 21, as for me, this is my covenant with them. Ooh, the Lord is with his people, the so-called blacks, Hispanics, the Native American Indians. This is my covenant with them, said the Lord Yahweh. My spirit that is upon thee, and my words which I have put in thy mouth shall not depart out of thy mouth, nor out of the mouth of thy seed, nor out of the mouth of thy seed's seed, said the Lord Yahweh, from henceforth and forever. So the Lord only have a covenant with these Israelites, the so-called Negroes, Hispanics, Native American Indians, man, Seminole Indians, man. No other people, no other nation, all right? No other race. But again, as I mentioned, you know, carnality is not our thing, man. Okay, we are all spiritual people, and we're going to win. Okay, we're going to overcome everything, man, through spirituality, man. This is 2 Corinthians chapter 10, verse 1. It reads, now I, Paul, myself beseech you by the meekness and gentleness of a Mashiach, who in presence I am based among you, but being absent I'm bold toward you. But I beseech you that I may not be bold when I am present with that confidence wherewith I think to be bold against some which think of us as if we walked according to the flesh. And I had made that statement, all right, that they look at us as, you know, we are as in, you know, niggas and this and that, and we're not counted as a whole man and all that. And these people, they don't know nothing about spirituality, man. They never felt the Lord's presence. Okay, they think that all of us are going to come carnally. They think that we are carnal minded like they are. No, we're not, man. Okay, we're out here walking spiritually, man. Verse 3 say, for though we walk in the flesh, we do not war after the flesh. For the weapons of our warfare are not carnal, but mighty through Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua to the pulling down the stronghold. Right. Hey, these scriptures is our weapons. Hey, we didn't already spiritually attack you, man. That's why you are in your feelings. You heard of these Hebrew Israelites? They're the most ridiculous. Yeah, you already being touched. They don't even fucking know it. Get out your fucking feelings, man. Hey, you bleeding everywhere, man. You're bleeding everywhere. While you was sitting down making your little podcast video, hey, you was leaking. You were gushing, man. You fucking Edomites, you were fucking hurt, man. You were fucking hurt because you know what you done did to us while we was in captivity, man. All right, you know what you are still doing to us this day. Okay, but here's the end goal. This is Daniel chapter 12, verse 1. And at that time shall Michael stand up, the great prince which standeth for the children of thy people. Right, Michael the archangel, man. The archangel, man. And there shall be a time of trouble, such as never was since there was a nation, even to that same time. And at that time thy people shall be delivered, everyone that shall be found written in the book. Right. just about when you think you're gonna win, then the Lord is gonna send his angels, man. Okay, to stand up and go ahead and just demolish you. Put an end to you people, man. You know? Hey, the outcome is not going to be in your benefit, but instead the so-called black man. And here it is, man. Hey, hey, Satan, keep on calling, man. Interrupting my video, man. But I got one more precept I'm going to end it off on. This is on the book of Obadiah, chapter 1. And this whole book is speaking about you fucking heathens. Okay? Esau, Edom, first and foremost. But it reads, the vision of Obadiah. Thus said the Lord Yahweh power concerning Edom. We have heard a rumor from the Lord Yahweh, and an ambassador is sent among the heathen. Arise ye, and let us rise up against her in battle. Behold, I have made thee small among the heathen. Thou art greatly despised. The pride of thine heart hath deceived thee, thou that dwellest in the cliffs of the rock, whose habitation is high, that said in his heart, who shall bring me down to the ground? Though thou exalt thyself as the eagle, and though thou set thy nest among the stars, thence will I bring thee down, said the Lord Yahweh. Right, so you exalt yourself as the eagle, man. Okay, your pride is high. That's why you think that you are going to overcome everything, okay, that the Lord is putting into place. Okay, that's why you think that you are going to out-survive a famine, okay, or a nuclear fallout. You know, you're just speaking lawfully, man. All right. But at the end of the day, that you think is going to happen because you trust in your guns is not going to happen. Yeah, you're going to unalive a lot of our people, and our people are going to unalive a lot of your people. But at the end of the day, the Lord is coming back during World War III, you know, in the midst of that race war. All right, and he's gonna shut shit down. And guess what? He's on our side. And guess what? He's a so-called black man out of the tribe of Judah. All right. So I'm ending up right there, giving all glory, praise, and honors to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakakadash. All right, double honors to our apostles and elders of Great Millstone who teach the rule well. Peace and salutation to the whole elect that's got the broad, preaching the truth and sincerity to you. Shalom.